Hello everybody, and welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. This is a part of a series where I'm kind of just doing an art experiment with a longboard. And in this one, it's just a little bit of surface prep and application of gouache. And you may be thinking, why is he filming this and uploading this? Well, I wanted to kind of just talk about the surface of this board. This is one that I picked up off of TGM Skateboards. It's like a moose. It had a crown made in China sticker. So I'm not really sure exactly who the manufacturer is or where it's from. So it's most likely crown / moose is the same thing. There does appear to be a little bit of a finish on it. And in order to apply the ground, I have to kind of roughen it up a little bit. And I could see swirly swipes where that finish was applied, or it might have been a final sanding. I'm not really sure. Anyhow, I apologize if you don't like the sound of sanding, but one thing that is kind of a dilemma for me, I'm applying watercolor ground, which I made a video on, and the watercolor ground that I have is white. So my big debate is, do I tape off an area that I want to paint on? Do I kind of do a fancy edge and then paint over that? They have watercolor ground, a primer essentially that is clear. Should I have gone that route? So those are a few things that are coming to mind initially as I'm doing this experiment. Anywho, I'm going to do a quick sanding and then I'll do the application just so you can see what it looks like applying this ground. All right, so I did a quick sanding. I don't know if you could see much of a difference. I had paused the camera and started it up again. What I decided during that time period is that I'll tape off the top and the bottom. In the future, if this is an experiment that I enjoy, I will I'll maybe look into a clear watercolor ground or a clear primer, unless I decide to kind of do it where it's squared off or painting the whole thing. I'm just kind of eyeballing it there. Okay, so let's apply this watercolor ground. This is the Daniel Smith titanium white, so it's an absorbent material, or absorbent medium, and it should accept watercolor somewhat reasonably. I haven't really decided if I'm going to do Chinese ink or a straight watercolor painting. I know that I'm going to have to take a different approach than my normal super wet and wet, just because of the experimental videos that we had done originally with this. I know application wise, I did kind of get a textured effect with it, which was pretty interesting. I did find that it was oddly enough, it was the most opaque on wood. I don't know if it was just because it was the last thing I applied it to and I had an overabundance on this sponge brush, or I don't know. So I'm going to pause it and I'll show you what it looks like after one pass. Okay, so this is the initial pass of the watercolor ground, and the first large color covering that I've done. And I would say that a tub, this is, I don't know if it's 12 ounces or 20 ounces, 16 ounces, 16 fluid ounces. It would definitely cover a lot of surfaces. So you'd definitely be getting your money's worth. I paid, I think it was Jerry's Artorama that I got it from, for about $17. Blick has it for the same price. Amazon has it for about $21. But you know, the catch with Blick and the Artorama is that You know, you might have to pay a certain amount, spend a certain amount to get the free shipping. So that's just to give you guys an idea price-wise. And, you know, Daniel Smith isn't the only ground out there. There are other brands. I haven't experimented with any of them. In fact, this is the most I've experimented so far with large application. But it's pretty fun. I have noticed that if I go like that, and there's a different application, you can get the same effect as rough paper. So how well that showed up, I'm not too sure. Okay. So on that note, I don't think I'm going to be doing a second coat because I know that I'm going to be painting over this whole thing. So I'm going to call the video with that. I hope that this was informative. If you guys have any suggestions or different ideas or approaches to this, let me know. All right, I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye.